Yo, this is a game I played, like, literally earlier today, and I didn't think much of it at the time, but it's a game that I wanted to reflect on a little bit because, not so much because the gameplay is exceptional or that there's some revolutionary idea contained within the game, but there is a lesson to be learned, and I think I only realized it kind of upon reflecting on this game and looking at it, and I think it's a good example of how I learn in Wingspan and how I try to keep improving. For the record, I record every game I play. Whether or not it's good or bad, I don't care, but I think you never know what games are going to be interesting, and keeping them around and being able to reflect on them, I think is really genuinely valuable in terms of learning. So let's dive into this game. We have Common Yellow Throat as an easy keep, like, okay, the game is fine, like, we have good draw power, this is going to be good. Platform Builder is our bonus card, we're never going to take Winter Feeder. And I'm thinking, you know what, Fish Crow, you're kind of good, or kind of useful for EOR 3, you're a Platform Builder bird, you know what, let's just take you. I've been a little bit more generous in terms of the birds that I'm keeping these days. I think maybe that's wrong, maybe that's right, I don't know, you tell me. But I kind of feel like you can get away with these things more often than not, so keeping Fish Crow. And I'm thinking, okay, let's look at this tray. There's Hawfinch and Tray. Hawfinch could be pretty useful bird, actually. I mean, it's a reset the feeder, take a seed if it's there. That's not too bad. That's some nectar denial, which is kind of good. So maybe we take that. And then I'm thinking, oh, this Bronze Cowbird could be useful. We have a lot of boldness between Hawfinch and Yellowthroat. Maybe we can use the Bronze Cowbird this game. I mean, I don't usually like these pink egg layers. I think they're pretty terrible, but my opponent goes and plays White-bellied Sea Eagle, which is not an egg-getting bird in the forest, so they're going to lay eggs at least once, most likely, so definitely thinking maybe this Cowbird might have some utility in this game. I'm going to pick up the Hawfinch, pick up Cooper's Hawk, that's brilliant, love that. Cheap platform nest, love that. We pick up Ibis Bill as well. I mean, that's a pretty good first draw, like Hawfinch for food, Hawk for scoring points and Platform Builder, Ibis Bill for cards and big points, and we're still holding on to this Fish Crow in case we need it. I'm going to pick up this Bronze Cowbird because I am pretty confident now that it might see use here, and we get good draw power, we can afford to be a little reckless. Going to get rid of Laughing Kookaburra here, and I think this is a bird that I go back and forth on quite a bit as whether it's actually good or not. My current thoughts are, no, it's not good. Or it's good in more selective situations. There's nothing in my hand at the moment that suggests that the Kookaburra is useful, because Kookaburra is exceptional in wetlands, and the grasslands, we don't really, not probably going to play in those today. My opponent's got Black-throated Diver, so they have better draw power than us, so that's a bit spooky. And now we pull Bireweaver and Goldcrest, which is a bit spicy. We're going to probably get rid of Beard Sparrow here, definitely. I mean, you could think that maybe it's useful for EOR 1, but don't really care too much about that. Just double checking, making sure there's nothing better to throw. I mean, I think California Condor, probably better than Beard Sparrow, because we could just play it without spending food, and that could be helpful. So now we've got some interesting decisions to make, because Bireweaver and Goldcrest are both very, very strong game plans. I'm looking at Goldcrest going, I really like this bird. I think this bird's insane. I think we got the extra cards from Yellowthroat already. I think this is a Goldcrest game. We don't have additional eggs, which is a bit of a problem, but maybe this Cowbird can offer us some reprieve in terms of the egg situation. So I'm feeling alright about things. I think this is going to be a decent game plan, so we'll probably commit straight to that. Tree Swallow comes up. My opponent took Emu of all things. A Tree Swallow comes up. I'm not going to take that. We're going to commit ourselves into the forest. And we'll see what our opponent does, but, you know, with Black-throated Diver, I mean, they're probably going to find something scary, probably going to find something very good. They flip the tray, and Audwin's Gull comes up, so that's also a very nice bird to have lingering around in the tray, so good thing from my opponent. I don't know if they're going to take that. I mean, they're not obviously going into the wetlands, unless they also took the Tree Swallow, but we know they don't have a main duck or a mute swan, so we will take some food, ignore the Goldcrest power because we don't have any eggs. Our opponent took, I Don't even know what they took, but Trumpeter Swan came up. They probably are taking that. Now Kia has come up. Now I think Kia is sufficiently interesting to take. I mean, I don't think Trumpeter Swan is. There's a 9-point, not very good game for it. But Kia, I think bonus cards are always very interesting. Some good draws there as well. We pick up a Little Busted and the Australian Rewarbler. Little Busted, really nice find actually. It's going to allow us to qualify this end of round. Just got to play the bird, lay an egg, and our opponent only has one ground nest spot on their black-throated diver, so we're actually going to tie the end of round. So that's actually quite nice. So we'll use our Little Busted. The trade-off here when we get Citizen Scientist, which isn't great, but oh well, it is what it is. The trade-off is that our opponent's probably going to lay eggs. The Cowbird's not going to get a chance to proc, so going to miss out on egg from Cowbird, but we tie the end of round, so maybe I think on balance this is the right play. I think you definitely want to get a look at that bonus card, get the points while you can, and it's fine. Like we're not stressed at all here. This is a completely fine game. So we'll see what our opponent decides to do. I imagine they're laying eggs, and I imagine we're going to get a free food from the Nightingale, and we do, and they give us a free fruit, which is fairly useless. Some good stuff coming up in the tray. We can see Yellow Rumped Warbler and Forest Owlet, both kind of intriguing options. I don't know if we need Yellow Rumped Warbler in this game. I think it's low points. We're not going to use the forest very often. Maybe a little bit too aspirational. Same with the Forest Owlet, although maybe that's a little bit more interesting. So I'm deciding here, am I just going to go for food or am I going to go for eggs? So I decided to go for food. And my logic here is I can build out my forest extremely quickly. Goldcrest allows me to develop that much faster than normal. So let's prioritize getting our egg access sorted so that we can just fill this habitat up as quickly as we like. And so we're going to play this Bronze Cowbird. Our opponent, Self-Crested Cockatoo, I mean, they're not playing egg birds, so we're pretty confident they don't have eggs. If you have an egg bird, you are going to play it in slot 2, because after 2 uses of the forest, you'll have enough eggs to play in column 4. So Self-Crested Cockatoo is a signal to me that they indeed do not have an alternate egg bird, and the Bronze Cowbird will indeed get used some more. The additional benefit of having the Bronze Cowbird in is that we can throw one of these fruit for an extra egg, and then we can start abusing our Goldcrest. We're also getting a Nectar from a Sulfur-Crested Cockatoo, which is a little bit unusual. Not usually a power you see used very often, but that's fine. Get our extra egg, and just the way that this game is going to work out is that they've got to play a bird, then they're going to have to take eggs, and we're going to get that 4th egg, and that's going to allow us to get to column 4 if we so choose. We may not want to do that because we may want to instead go for this end of round. Our opponent plays Emu into the Grasslands, a little bit of a controversial decision, I think, but nevertheless they do it. And now we can start activating our Goldcrest. Condor is probably the worst card we have in hand, so we should start throwing that away and getting stuff in. So we're going to play Cooper's Hawk. I think this is a bird we want to play most games. Good for platform builder. It's going to accumulate a bunch of incremental value as the game goes on, and it's got a rat in the cost, and it's less than or equal to 3 points. So pretty good return on investment this game in terms of utility, end of round alignment, goal, bonus card alignment. So feeling pretty good about that. Next bird up, we don't really have any more birds for the forest, which is a bit of an issue, but we can say take this Forest Owlet and start getting that into the game. We could just play Tui. We do have quite a lot of Nectar. Our opponent is really throwing a lot of Nectar our way. We have 4 Nectar already. So maybe then we just go for Tui. Just put the Tui in the game, let it copy the Sea Eagle, and just kind of be content with that as the option. Thinking about what food I should take here, we're just going to take out some worms and leave a reroll. Bioweaver's not going to get played this game, so we're going to throw it away, and then we'll play our Tui. Now, more decisions. What is our next bird for the forest? Because now we actually genuinely do not have any options. Is it going to be this Hawfinch? Like, you don't want to play Hawfinch here. Like, this is a really bad Hawfinch angle. Our opponent is giving us Nectar, so the extra food is kind of mute. It's not a point scoring bird. It's not a high point scoring bird. It doesn't contribute to any end of round. So I think the time for the Hawfinch has been and gone. We need a better bird. So the options here are Fish Crow, not super thrilled about that. Or we dive into the draw action and see what we can find. We're also getting more co-op. So a nectar, a seed, and all kinds of stuff. So we can play. I was thinking about maybe playing Ibis Bill to go digging instead of drawing. We did get the free egg as well, by the way. But I figured we'll just grab Forest Owlet and be happy with that. Australasian Pipit, not usually a bird I'm particularly excited to see, but this game actually, I don't mind seeing it. We do have Citizen Scientist as our bonus card, and Australasian Pipit is one of 2 birds in the game that is particularly good at meeting this bonus card. So as long as we fill up our grasslands, we get min-bound on Citizen Scientist. That's pretty nice. Trumpetous one comes in from my opponent. We are going to spend a turn laying eggs rather than filling out our forest. Again, I can fill up my forest as fast as I like, but laying eggs at this critical opportunity does win us the end of round. Catbird in tray, kind of interesting, but probably not interesting enough to go and pick up. Cooper's Hawk finally gets a tuck. Noisy Miner is never going to get played in this game. We don't have enough cards for that. And Forest Owlet will be our column 4 bird, so we'll see how this bird performs. I'm not really a fan of playing Forest Owlet this late into the game. I think this bird really needs time to accumulate value. We're taking food like 4 times, 5 times maybe. That sets the max score it can get to us as 15, but realistically it's going to be more like 6. So hopefully it can get 6. That's kind of the optimistic result here. We also need to start thinking about this end of round. Our opponent does have a pretty sizable lead because of White-bellied Sea Eagle. That's contributing 3 to this end of round, and we gotta think really hard about what we're gonna do here. So Forest Owlet, okay, didn't hit the first time. That's unfortunate. Starting to get those tucks on the 2E. And we're not going to spend the, we're not going to use the Gold Crisp power. We don't really have a bird we want to play. Maybe the Fish Crow is kind of our only outlet here. So the idea here now must be, we must play Ibis Bill. We're going to look to see if we can find a better bird to be playing than Roadrunner. And if not, we play Roadrunner. And if not, we probably also want to get Fish Crow into the game as well. And maybe, just maybe, we're able to get everything done. We're still getting Nectar thrown at us, which is really helpful. Oh yeah, of course we're going to play Reed Warbler as well. Like, I mean, we're going to play Reed Warbler to get Ibis Bill in. Reed Warbler good for EOR 4. We find the Raven with Ibis Bill. So that is an interesting development in this game. Raven is very expensive though, and we're not likely to want to use it very often. We already have excellent food access. It is a platform nest bird. It does have a rodent in its cost. However, can you with a straight face tell me it's going to be better than Roadrunner in this game? And I think the answer there is probably not. So instead we shall commit to the Roadrunner. But maybe there's something clever we can do here. Horsefit's Bushlark for my opponents. That's a pretty clear signal that they're going to take another round of eggs. So if we get lucky, what we can do here is something quite sneaky. It's unfortunate that we missed the Nectar. But we can leverage the fact that our cowbird is likely to give us another egg to actually play our Fish Crow now. Get the Fish Crow into the game and get that extra fish. We can either get rid of the Raven or the Hawfinch here. I think Hawfinch is probably the card we should be throwing, but it ultimately doesn't particularly matter. So thinking long and hard about this, and in the end I think we will indeed decide to do that. Because I think right now we are two rat or fish away from tying the end of round. So our opponent could still steal it away from us, but we're asking the question, can you prove... See, we're 2 behind, so we're asking the question, can you get another fish or a rodent down in this game? Do you actually have those cards in hand? And if they don't, well, we're pretty happy. We might be able to tie the end of round. I'm going to spend all our nectar with Fish Crow, because now that we've committed Fish Crow into our forest, the Kia is now available to do a mass resource dump into the grasslands. So we're expecting to be able to dump a couple of nectar into the grasslands and be able to win it from there. So not really concerned about flipping the grasslands at this point, whereas the forest, maybe there is a world where our opponent can clinch that. It's unlikely. They've only spent 2 so far, but on balance I think we put it beyond reasonable doubt by doing this. Then we can do the Roadrunner. Assuming we get an egg, which the entire plan at this point is contingent on getting an egg. Assuming we get an egg, we can then play the Roadrunner. And look at that, we actually got an extra nectar from our opponent, which is very nice. That's actually going to help with the nectar race in the grasslands, so we'll play our Roadrunner, get that in, and then we can lay eggs, throwing 2 food to be able to get as many eggs as possible. So that actually ties up the end of round. And alright, prove it. Prove that you can get the extra fish or rodent down. There is one other consideration that we have to make here, and I've kind of not mentioned it until now. Citizen Scientist will not get maxed if we just play the Australasian Pipit. We'll get min-bound. We'll get to 6 birds, which is 1 off being able to max it. However, Welcome Swallow is both a platform nest bird and it hits Citizen Scientist really, really well. So we pick up the Welcome Swallow. We also find Great Blue Heron, which, if the stars align, could be really nice. We can do Heron into Welcome Swallow for a really mega play, 2 platform nest birds. That is quite nice. Love to see that. So now we have a clear game plan. Like, we've got an end game. We want to play Pipit, we want to play Welcome Swallow, we want to play Kia, and if the stars align, we want to play Great Blue Heron with the Welcome Swallow. The problem here is that we can take food once, we've got to lay eggs once, and then how do we get the other birds into the game? Every bird now costs 2 eggs, so where are we going to find those eggs? So we're pretty much reliant on our opponent from giving us 2 extra eggs at this point of the game. So goodbye, Raven. Goodbye, Shelduck. You're not going to get played in this game, and we'll just dump our eggs anywhere we like. Roadrunner's going to miss, so that's unfortunate. The Roadrunner hitting there could have changed my calculus a little bit. It might have changed our decision to play the Pipit or not, because we could have done Heron into Welcome Swallow. With the Roadrunner tuck, that would have been maxed Citizen Scientist, but because it didn't hit, we have to play Pipit and we have to play Welcome Swallow. Which is a little bit annoying. I think it would have been nicer to do Heron into Welcome Swallow and not have to worry about the extra egg constraints and problems. So we get 1 egg from our opponent, which is fantastic. This cowbird already putting in a little bit of work, and we get another nectar. So definitely not worried about winning the Grasslands Nectar at this point. 2 more nectar from the feeder. I am going to think about burning this egg on the TUI because I didn't do my egg calculations correctly. Of course, if I take this egg, then there is no possibility of playing Kia, Pipit, and Welcome Swallow. So it was very, very close. Very, very close to taking this nectar, but ultimately I felt, you know what, she don't need this nectar. Like, it's not going to decide any nectar race, and I don't think we need the extra resource for the bonus card on the Kia. Our opponent has committed 5 birds into their grasslands. We are likely to see that extra egg come through, and we just need to spend 1 nectar in the grasslands to win it, and then maybe we can spend a couple more in the wetlands to do something there. So let's keep the egg. Let's hope we can get the value out of it. Well, let's see if Forest Owlet can hit. So remember, I wanted to see 6 hits on the Forest Owlet. We got 3, so a little bit of a disappointment there. But so be it, Forest Owlet. I think I only used it a couple times, actually. I'd have to go back and count. I think we only used it 3 times, so I guess 3 points off 3 tries is not the end of the world. So maybe you get a passing grade after all, Forest Owlet. I don't know. I'm really 50-50 on this bird. It's so good when it's good and so bad when it's bad. I don't know. Always divided about this bird. The game plan now is extremely clear. The great thing is the Pipit and the Welcome Swallow will definitely cement our victory in this end of round. I mean, not that I'm expecting my opponent to be able to challenge in any way, shape, or form. I think going after this end of round is, unless you're like 1 bird behind, is like suicide. You're just wasting points and time. Unless there's other reasons for playing the birds, like for us, Pipit is going to, do good work on Citizen Scientist, and Welcome Swallow will as well, and as well as Platform Builder. So I'm going to open with Pipit. At this point, because Roadrunner didn't hit, we are playing this bird 100%. I was umming and ahhing, like, do I do Kia first? Do I do Pipit first? How do I balance things here? And at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? we'll just do Pipit, and then we'll do Kia, just in case we get any more extra food. The later on in the game we can play it, the better. So Blight's Hornbill for my opponent, a little bit of a surprise there. But big point bird. And so in goes Kia. I mean, we could take eggs and kind of hedge our bets a little bit longer, but I kind of decided it's not really likely to matter. I mean, we've got so much food to throw here. We do have a choice around what food to throw, and given that we can't lose the Grasslands Nectar now that we've won it, I was like, well, I think my opponent's going to lay eggs, so I'm going to keep these 2 Nectar for the Welcome Swallow. If the Welcome Swallow can be played, then it's going to win me the Grasslands Nectar. So we find Small Clutch Specialist for 7s. That's a very nice find. Not many bonus cards we were doing very well on. That was a little bit of a sad moment. Would have loved to have seen an ethologist or an ecologist or anything like that, but alas, not the game for it. Even a Pellet Dissector I think we would have done all right on. I think Tui's got a couple caches, and so does Forest Owlet. Yeah, we would have done fine on Pellet Dissector as well, so yeah, a little bit of a bad draw there by Kia, but there was at least one good bonus card in there. But we are pretty much hoping that we're going to get this last egg from this cowbird, so that we can actually play this Welcome Swallow. Maybe in hindsight, maybe I should have done Heron into Welcome Swallow or something, but I think anyway, it doesn't really matter. The moment I see the emu pop up, I'm like, fantastic, we're getting that extra egg, no problem whatsoever. And we're going to play this Welcome Swallow, and that's going to give us min bound on Platform Builder. It's going to max out Citizen Scientist, and the score might not look super good right now, but it also flipped the Nectar, so that was actually quite a significant play there, and the score has actually come out quite good. So let's see what the end result of this game is. Bird points, probably pretty close. 6 points, that's not too bad. But bonus cards, we know we're really good. Our opponent didn't do so hot. And then end of rounds, we know we're good. Eggs, we're probably not going to do very well on, but everything else, we should be pretty good. So food, pretty similar. Tucked cards, we have a lot. Nectar, we win, so in the end of the day, a fairly clear victory. So 123 to 104. Our opponent had Uologist, which is why they're in the Grasslands, but we're unable to max it. That is a very disappointing outcome. You hate to see that as the Grasslands player. Like, I mean, something went wrong with those calculations. Maybe this Hornbill actually wasn't worth playing. I think if they played Hornbill, if they didn't consume the eggs off of Cockatoo, they would have actually ended up 1 point better off, believe it or not. So yeah, a little bit of a tough one there, but so be it. So did you spot what I didn't really think about until reviewing this game? So I was flicking through this game and I was thinking, well, how could I play this better? Like, I feel like, okay, this score 123 is an above average score, don't get me wrong. However, I think my opponent gave me way too many nectars, and I think, like, just as a rule of thumb in Wingspan, co-op food is fine, co-op nectar is a death sentence. If you're giving out free nectar, you are almost always losing the game. Now, there are some very fringe examples where that's not true. I think, like, the Eastern Rosella is, like, the only bird in the game which is worth considering with co-op nectar. And maybe the hummingbirds as well, but the hummingbirds are also very situational. So I think my score is a little bit inflated. I don't think we would have scored this well without those free nectar, and I think we probably end up with like 108 if we don't have those free nectar. I think, I don't know, just ballparking it. So I think the scores are a little bit inflated. So you could have just taken the score at face value and being like, wow, we played so great, look at us, we're amazing. But when you think about it, you're like, well, our opponent actually gave us a couple of freebies, so what could we have done in this game better? Because honestly, this board is not fantastic. I shouldn't go a little bit forward. This board here with the Pipitucks, it's not fantastic, right? No egg access made this game a real pain. Like Goldcrest, usually a really strong bird. We were able to leverage its abilities to full effect, but you know, this cowbird actually ended up being super clutch. Like, without this cowbird, we kind of screwed this game. And it's only because my opponent also decided to go Grasslands, and there was no indication that they should be playing a Grasslands game either. Like, they just kind of went there spontaneously. I certainly didn't expect to get more than 1 or 2 free eggs off this cowbird, and we ended up getting like 4 or 5. And that ended up being the difference of being able to play all of this good stuff, let alone all of the free nectar. So, what could we have done better? Well, Goldcrest is a great bird, but we didn't really have a payload for it, right? Like, the good games with Goldcrest, you have some like mega good plays for column 4 and 5. You have some nifty utility birds down here. It could be cyclers, but you're usually looking for like an alt egg, so like a mourning dove, California quail, chipping sparrow, anything like that. Or maybe you've got a lesser white throat chilling in your grasslands that's going to give you a lot of points. Like, I don't know. Goldcrest loves a little bit of support. It's not a terrible game plan by any stretch of the imagination, but those are the really good Goldcrest games. So we don't really meet any of those conditions, and I think Forest Owlet slot 4 is really endemic of the problem, right? This is just not the bird for this position. It needed to be a bigger bird, like a great hornbill, Ultima Oriole, even a Blythe's hornbill, for instance. Any of that would have been a lot better here, just to like score more points, basically. This Forest Owlet really didn't deliver. Fish Crow gets a pass because there were end of round considerations and bonus card considerations to make sure that why we're playing this bird, but all in all, Goldcrest did alright. The game was alright, but I think we missed a couple of tricks here, and I think where did things go wrong? But I think, by around, more or less at this point of the game, we're pretty much committed into our strategy. Like, there's pretty much no turning back. I don't think there's really anything we can draw that would change our mind. So maybe if we gone a little bit, maybe here is a better cutoff point. Like, you could argue at this point we should flip the tray, see if we can find any more mega forest birds that we could be playing. Because again, we've kind of committed to Goldcrest. We don't really have the payload for it to make it worthwhile. So I think here maybe we should be making better decisions. If we don't, okay, that's so be it. But maybe we can make better decisions here. But that's not the point of the game. It's further back still. And as with Wingspan, everything comes back to round 1 and the decisions you make. So going back, and the critical moment is right now. This is the critical moment of this game. And maybe you sitting at home were like, dude, you have Buyer Weaver, just play it. And for those people, you're probably right. I mean, I don't think Buyer Weaver is that strong, and I think that is a problem that I have. I often don't value the bird because I don't know why I don't value it. Maybe because I just don't like playing wetlands. Certainly, I don't feel comfortable playing wetlands games. That said, this is an excellent Buyer Weaver game, and I just didn't see it in the moment. So what makes this an excellent Buyer Weaver game? Well, the first thing is there's a tree swallow. That tree swallow is going to give us that incremental points that are just going to allow us to do stuff. Cool. This is a white-throated dipper. That's also fantastic. That's a great searching bird. Going to allow us to find a lot of really strong birds to play. Now, my reservation was, well, I don't have any alt food. Like, there's no way I can get food in this habitat, so I'm just going to accumulate eggs and hope I find Benelli's eagle, and we'll see what happens. But I do. And it's actually the Goldcrest that solves this problem. And I just didn't click. So what I should have done in this position is I should have taken the tree swallow. I should have laid eggs. I should have played Buyer Weaver. I should have drawn cards. And then qualified the end of round because Buyer Weaver would have qualified us. And then use Goldcrest in our forest to kind of run kind of an Air Sando situation. So use the Buyer Weaver to accumulate good cards while getting eggs. While the Goldcrest can utilize food and the excess cards that we can't tuck into the Buyer Weaver and fill out our forest really rapidly. That would have been incredible. So we wouldn't have been stuck playing these terrible like hawk plays and the terrible Tui play. We would have actually had like some crazy birds from the Buyer Weaver, plus we would have tucked a ton because Yellowthroat's giving us extra cards. Buyer Weaver can tuck 3. Tree Swallow is potentially also here getting us extra points. Like, that would have been a crazy good game. Maybe we get the cowbird in there at some point to kind of like complement us, or I don't know. Like, the point being is I missed that synergy, and it's because I was just kind of like focused. I was like, oh, we got Goldcrest, we got Hawk, we can play that, we can just get stuff going, this is going to be an amazing game. And I just overlooked this really basic synergy that just I don't know why I didn't see it. We had all the time in the world to play it, and it comes from the fact that I myself undervalue the Buyer Weaver, and I'm always looking for reasons to not commit into the wetlands. Like, just math it out. Like, we've got 4 turns remaining. Draw, tree swallow. That alleviates my problem of scoring points in the wetlands. We've got a 4-point engine while we're searching for good cards, and then the payload and gold crest to play it all. Take tree swallow, eggs, bioweaver, draw. It's perfect. It all works out. It's brilliant. Is it brilliant? Maybe I'm not being brilliant. I'm missing a food action, I think. Yes, I am missing a food action. Oh well. In that case, who cares about end of round? It's 2 points. Who cares? So in that case, we have to do draw, food, eggs, bioweaver. Yeah, do something like that. Totally fine. That extra food's going to get used. We already have a fruit, so what we could do is we could be strategic. If you take a nectar and a worm, then we have the food for tree swallow immediately as well. We also want to have gold crest, so maybe we don't play tree swallow immediately and just kind of like try play a cheap bird. Okay, I'm getting a little bit too theory crafty at the moment, but the point here is that this is how I learn about playing Wingspan. I kind of take these games, I kind of scroll through them, and I'm like, what could I have done better? What options did I have that I didn't choose in the moment? Why didn't I choose them? And in this game, I didn't choose bioweaver, and I didn't choose bioweaver because I don't view the game that way. But so be it. I think everything else, we did what we could with the strategy we committed to, even if there was a better strategy that we just missed. So that's really all I wanted to draw attention to. I think this is a really good learning game. Result, who cares? Like, the result is a result. It's not a tournament game, so it's not like a life or death or anything. So, but you've got to take every opportunity to learn. Every game as a learning experience potentially. So, being able to identify that and think more clearly about these birds, I think that's really quite valuable. So in the end, hopefully you found that interesting. I found it interesting to talk through, so I guess that's a good thing for me, I suppose. I don't know. If nothing else, maybe you found it interesting, and yeah, hopefully there'll be some more games to come soon. Maybe even some tournament games, we'll see. But yeah, we'll see you in those games. Bye.